All right, this is Michael Duarte with NBC and I am here with Los Angeles Rams rookie wide receiver Cooper Kupp for another edition of Rams Revealed, or in this case, Rams After Dark. First question for you, Cooper. You're from Yakima, Washington, is that correct? And attended college at Eastern Washington?
Yep.
Okay,
that's right.
so my first question for you, a lot of people don't know this, but there's only a handful of current players in the NFL who came from Eastern Washington, yet 3 of them play here for the Los Angeles Rams. So just how strange or funny that you got reunited with Samson and Aaron here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Play with those guys for, nearly for 4 years, and I guess Samson for 4 years too, because Samson came in and true the year after I got there. So really cool to be able to, continue to play football with those guys.
Excellent. Now, I know that you were the Jerry Rice Award winner your freshman season at Eastern Washington. Now, as a kid, I wanted to be Jerry Rice, like to the point where I'd have my dad throw me bricks so I could practice like his same practice and training techniques. So other than guys I've heard you mention like Larry Fitzgerald, Antonio Brown, who was someone you wanted to be like or you idolized when you were a kid growing up?
Yeah, well, when I was growing up, I was a running back actually. So some of the guys I really liked, I love Barry Sanders, and another guy actually a little lesser known is Priest Holmes from Kansas City.
Yeah, I know Priest Holmes.
So I was a big Priest Holmes fan, and obviously Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, those guys, just the greats.
So a lot of fans don't know this, but right now I'm standing in the presence of college football greatness. 15 NCAA FCS receiving records, including most touchdowns, most receiving yards, most receptions. Needless to say, you were one of the most consistent and best receivers in the game during your collegiate career. So I guess my question for you is that consistency the next step for you, the next goal at the NFL level, to be week in and week out consistent, kind of like you were here against New Orleans last week?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is always to be consistent. I think one of the things here is, consistency is the truest measure of greatness, I think. And, I think, guys strive to be able to play their best week in and week out. And that's not always going to be the case. This is one of those games where you're going to have down weeks. You're going to have weeks that you get more opportunities than others. And, really at the end of the day, it's just about making the most of those opportunities when they come your way.
My last college question for you, and be honest with me, how long did it take you to acclimate to the red field? I like to call it the Red Sea. It's a bit of an eyesore on camera. I imagine it's a good home field advantage, but how long did it take you to kind of get used to that?
Yeah, it honestly, I don't remember taking too long to get used to it, but looking back on it now and like looking at film now, I can definitely see why there's so many complaints about having all the headaches it causes and stuff like that. But for us, I was just very used to it in college.
Okay, so you come from a long bloodline of NFL players in your family. Your grandfather played in the NFL. Your father was an NFL quarterback. And so my question for you is, who throws a better ball? I'm sure they helped you throughout your career. Who throws a better ball, Grandpa, Dad, or I'll even throw in Peyton Manning? I know you went to his camp.
All right, so better ball. My grandpa was a guard, so he's automatically disqualified. I don't know if I've seen him throw a ball overhand. Actually, he's more of a, throw the underhand out
snap
there.
It to you or something.
Yeah. Obviously my dad played a quarterback, so I think he's got the upper hand a little bit. I think Peyton will be the first to tell you, his ball's not the prettiest, but it gets where it needs to go. So I'm going to give the prettiest ball to my dad.
To Dad? All right,
yeah.
I like that. Okay, another fun fact for fans, after you were drafted by the Los Angeles Rams earlier in May, you not bunked up, but you became roommates with Jared Goff. You lived with him for a few weeks. So my first question is, how did your wife allow that to happen, and what was she going on while that was happening? And my second question is, how did your relationship that you formed with Jared during that time you were roommates off the field help you guys this season on the field?
Yeah, well, first off, my wife, she was just very gracious with handling that whole thing, very patient. Just in terms of, it was nice to have a place to stay that wasn't a hotel room, since we were still kind of figuring out where we were going to be staying at and everything that goes along with that. And Jared was nice enough to open his home up to us, so she was very gracious in that, and we were both very thankful for Jared. And then just in terms of being able to spend that time with Jared and being able to just kind of start to click in terms of what we're thinking when we're talking football, and getting an idea of who he is and what he expects out of his receivers and stuff like that was a big deal early on.
Okay, some fun ones for you. I know you and your wife, first of all, if you guys out there, go follow Cooper Kupp on social media and his wife. I know you guys are big hiking enthusiasts, so what's the best hike you've been on with her here in Southern California?
So we haven't done too much hiking down here. We went horseback riding over in Malibu, which was a lot of fun. And she's been hiking a few times with some friends, so we've heard of a lot of really cool places. I heard of there's some places in Malibu that are incredible. So this off season we'll probably try that out.
There's another hike called the Bridge to Nowhere. You should try that. It's arcade. It's about an hour probably from here, a little more. So that's a good one to check out too. All right, next question. I know you guys are also foodies. So is there a restaurant either in Los Angeles or here in Ventura County that you can recommend to our viewers?
All right, so I'm gonna go two different ways here. I used to love like barbecue. I've within the last 2 months or so, I've been kind of transitioning to vegan and eating just seafood and stuff. Okay. So before that, though, we have a place out here. Q Sushi is really good.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
We love sushi. Barbecue places. I was still kind of trying to figure out the barbecue thing here. Haven't quite found it yet. Wood Ranch was good.
Obviously. There's a Bandits down the street. I don't know if you've tried that.
I haven't tried that one.
Okay.
It's too late now. But the other one down in I think it's in Santa Monica is Gratitude Cafe.
Yeah, I know.
It's a little different. Oh, is it Cafe Gratitude? Yeah. So it's a little different, but we really like it.
All right, those are some good ones. Now I also know that you play the guitar a little bit, so you're a big music fan. So there's a lot of traffic here in LA. What's your go-to song you like to listen to when you're in the car in traffic?
So I get enough Migos and Young Thug when I'm here. So
right.
When I'm on my own, my wife and I really like listening to like Mumford and Sons, Lumineers.
Yep.
Yes, Lumineers is awesome. There's another one, Codaline, I think.
Okay.
Have you heard of them before?
No, I haven't.
They're a good one. So we like to kind of do some different stuff.
All right, just a couple more. First, who's the best person to FaceTime? Is it your mom, your wife, Jared Goff, or I heard you FaceTime Jerry Rice? What's the best one to FaceTime?
I'm going to say my wife. Obviously Jerry Rice was incredible when I got that opportunity. But, if it was an everyday thing, my wife's good.
All right, last question. We're only asking this because fans want to know, and you are the expert since you lived with him. How many Taylor Swift songs does Jared Goff know by heart? And just how big of a Swiftie is he? Be honest with us.
It's his music choices I'm not a big fan of. I'm just to be straight up honest with you. I'm not a big fan of his music choices. The joke here is that his favorite song is whatever the top 10 is of the week. So that's what his thing is.
He's a top 40 guy, got it.
Yeah, probably too many is the answer to.
Too many Taylor Swift songs he knows by heart? So there's no like posters in his room or anything, right?
Not that I know of. He might have taken them down. But not that I know of, but I can keep you updated on that.
All right, we'll find out just how big of a Swiftie is. Anyways, guys, this was Cooper Kupp. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and good luck on Sunday.
Yeah.